Your Honor, I just want to say that the past was fueled by drugs and alcohol. I take complete responsibility for that. I did not know from very young when things happened in my life that it could have been, some of it could have been treated and stopped earlier if I had gotten help for my mental health. That after I received this DWI, that helped me get myself to a place that I could go into a treatment program and deal with some of those past traumas. In the past, I didn't. I medicated and drank to just forget about the pain, just numb myself out. I didn't know how else to deal with that. And when I got on my mental health meds, and I had bipolar, I have PTSD, and my mind back then was very chaotic. And I just want to say, after I had my mental health meds, I was able to go through treatment at Santa Maria.
Wait, she just dropped a bomb. A 90-day trauma program, an 8-month sex trafficking recovery program, and she got a job while living in a sober house. That's a complete 180 from her past. But here's the kicker. Does recovery erase a decade of repeat offenses? The judge is about to decide. And trust me, you won't believe what happens next.
In Houston, and that place really saved my life. I did extensive 90-day treatment with trauma counselors. It was a trauma-informed community there. And also, when I completed that, I worked an outpatient program, but I still lived on their facility. I went to the sex trafficking and recovery program, and I was in that for about 8 months, where I got the state paid for the counseling for trauma still. And I just worked really hard in that. I got a job while I was in there. And then once that program was over, I moved to a sober living facility in Oxford House in spring, and I worked there until I felt like I was strong enough to come home and do what I needed to do. And I was in the complete program for right at a year. And I'm sorry, I'm very nervous today, and I know that my past record is, like Brian said, atrocious. But you know, the things that I had to deal with within myself from when I was a little girl, those are things that you don't go to prison, even in their programs there, that you don't talk about. It's just, you just don't. And I'm asking you, please do not send me back to prison.
Please do not send me back to prison. Those words hit different when you realize she's already spent decades behind bars. She's begging for a chance to prove she's changed. But the judge isn't just thinking about her. There's a community at risk and a history of failed probations and parole violations. If you were the judge, what would you do? Give her one last shot or lock her up to protect everyone else? Drop a comment.
I want to move forward. I have moved forward in my life, and this year that I've been in jail has given me more time to think and know that I am definitely headed in the right direction. I have a sponsor. I attend AA at home. I had moved on with my life as far as I could with my sobriety. I mean, I knew this charge was out there. And I think I made some really good choices with my Mid-County AA friends. They've helped me a lot, and I am open to anything. I will abide by all the rules. and do anything that's asked of me. And I think, I know now that I'm responsible and capable of taking care of my business and my life.
Thank you. So, Ms. Welch, Ms. Molfino probably said it yet best, and I get this often, and they don't envy my position, and this is the worst part of my job. But I worked hard to get here, and it's my job. Part of my job, it's several things, and it's to look at, obviously defendants and giving chances and things like that, but it also is about making our community safe. And I have to look back, this is your 10th DWI. It's not your 5th, it's not your 8th, it's the 10th. And while I understand the trauma that you went through, that you've been to Safe P 3 times.
Boom. The judge just dropped the hard truth. This isn't her 5th DWI. It's not even her 8th. It's her 10th. And let's not forget, she's been to prison 3 times already, with sentences of 10, 15, and 10 years. The judge's dilemma? She sounds sincere about her recovery, but her rap sheet screams danger to society. This is the moment where the judge has to decide, is redemption possible after a decade of repeat offenses?
You've been given opportunities on probation where they were revoked. You've had opportunities while you were on parole to do what you have done now. And while I appreciate what you've done, and I think that's great, and my goal isn't to, to stop any improvement, but I can't, in my opinion, in good faith, go home tonight, look myself in the mirror and say I gave somebody on their 10th DWI, that your last sentence was for 15 years in prison. The one before that was for 10. The one before that, you've gone to another 10 year, back in 09. I mean, this goes back to the 90s. You got a 10-year sentence in 2011. While you're on parole for that one, you get another one, so they give you 15 years, and you get out and you're on parole and you do it again. The fact is, we're just lucky that you haven't killed someone in our community 9 times.
We're just lucky you haven't killed someone. Damn, that's the cold, hard truth the judge just threw down. And with those words, the fate is sealed. 18 years in prison. No probation, no more chances. The question now, was this justice or a system that failed her years ago? Either way, this is a brutal reminder that some mistakes have consequences that last a lifetime.
Time's over. Being given opportunities. I just can't do it. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find and your plea of true to the prior offense. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of driving while intoxicated. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 18 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive.
18 years. Let that sink in. This woman will be in her late 50s by the time she gets out, if she survives that long. Was this the right call? Should the judge have considered her mental health struggles and recovery efforts? Or was 18 years the only way to protect the public from a repeat offender? You decide. Like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more real, raw courtroom moments like this.